that story with it. You know, and some people will argue, well, it's not a full-blown horror movie. No, but you're talking about a guy who's eating people.
Yeah, I mean, how is that not horror related?
Yeah, I mean, just because you don't see gruesome stuff, it's kind of like the idea. You know, it's like Anthony Hopkins is such a great actor that he can sit there and do a 20-minute dialogue, and it feels like it's the same thing as the equivalent of seeing 3 or 4 death scenes. Like, he can, creep you out with his words.
Yeah,
you don't need to see.
He can paint you a picture with what he's saying.
Yeah, because he's what was that word? Intellectual. Yeah, he's smarter than you, and he knows he's smarter than you.
Yeah,
but it's so crazy because he's the one behind bars.
Right.
So, but he still thinks he's smarter than you, which is great because that's classic serial killer behavior.
Right. So what do you love about Silence of the Lambs? What draws you to this? Because I know this is one of your favorites.
It is one of my favorites, and it's one of the ones that really made me fall in love with horror movies, actually. One of the first ones I can remember that I'm like, oh my god, I love this. Well, for me, I had seen a lot of, slashers and what do you call them? Creature films?
Creature features.
But this one was this wasn't some made-up guy in your dreams. This is a real person who's eating people. So something about that could really be happening in the world just gets to me on a different way than just OG slasher films. So I think the psychological aspect of it is really what kind of drew me in.
So, do you think it's you're more drawn to the fact or of something that could actually hurt you?
Yes.
Is more captivating to you, your Hannibal Lecter, your Michael Myers before he gets gets crazier in the franchise. You're
even possession films for me. I know that there's a lot. It's kind of a lot of people feel like it's overdone, but that's something that to me feels real. Not realistic's not the word, but I could see that actually potentially being something that could happen.
Right. That's the thing. Me and you were talking about the other night that I'm not very religious. I don't necessarily believe in a heaven and hell, but I do believe in that they're spirits, and I think there's good spirits and bad spirits, and I think that there's a possibility that those good and bad spirits can affect you, or possibly what you know as possession, but it's just a bad fucking entity.
Right.
That's just somebody's out there and this guy's fucking nuts. This is just what I believe. So I believe that that's possible. I believe that you can believe in ghosts without having to believe heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that the afterlife gets associated with religion. Maybe there is an afterlife and it has nothing to do with heaven and hell or anything like that.
Right. We're not trying to, preach.
Or go down that rabbit hole.
Well, my point is that's what most horror possession films are about. They're not about heaven and hell. They're about what if there's a world that you fuckers don't talk about.
Right.
And
that's what I believe.
So, Well, it's come to number 1 on my list, and after I say it, I don't think you will have any questions, because...
Probably not. I've agreed with your list 100%.
From 1982 to 1994, there's nothing more popular than Freddy Krueger.
Well, I love how this comes full circle.
Yeah. There's nothing more popular than Freddy Krueger.
Absolutely not.
Kids were going as Halloween. They were dressing up like Freddy. He was on daytime talk shows. He was on the fucking Arsenio Hall show in character.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is a fucking dream demon who's killing teenagers, and he's celebrated like he's fucking Elvis.
I know, it was such like a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
it was fucking unbelievable.
It was like, if you really didn't experience that, and we kind of got the tail end of it, but we were old enough to know,
and appreciate it. Yeah,
we knew at an early age that Freddy was kind of a big deal, and we really wasn't afraid of him. We looked at him like he was like, a pop culture icon. It's like the mom taking a little kid, like this is a burnt fucker with razor blades. And it's like, go up and give him a hug.
Yeah, take your picture of Freddy Jr.
That's exactly what it was. That was exactly what it was. I mean, he was on commercials. He was on MTV.
Oh, God. He was
everywhere,
all over MTV.
man. And that, we were talking about it earlier. That might be one of the reasons why Robert, besides the fact that he's in his fucking 70s, but he might have just got burnt out doing that thing year after year after year after year.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, you hear like music artists all the time talk about playing the same, like their biggest hit over and over again, how they fucking hate the song.
Right. Yeah. But they do it because they know that there's a fan who's never seen him before and wants to hear that song.
Exactly.
So, Robert done it till the wheels fall off, and now he's like 70. Yeah. He's like in his mid-70s, so it's understandable why he doesn't want to sit in that makeup chair for 10 fucking hours getting made up. I
mean, I don't blame him, but
he did his time.
Right. Like I want to see him in one more Freddy movie. But if they're gonna do, if they're gonna do the Freddy movie, just make it Freddy, like whatever number it would be. What number would this be technically?
Well, technically, let's see here. Let's see. You got Freddy's Dead was 6. Wes Craven was 7. Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I guess you don't count that one.
Well, let's just count it.
Okay, so that's 8.
Then the remake would be 9. This will be the 10th film in the franchise to feature Freddy. 10th.
Okay.
Which, if you count Michael Myers and you count Leatherface and you count Jason, it's hard to believe that those guys have way more movies than this. And 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot. 9 is a lot.
Yeah.
But then you think Freddy and Jason, Jason and Michael, they're like up to like 13.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, Saw's going to be at 10 this year.
Yeah.
Fucking stoked about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little happy about that one myself.
Which, by the way, I'm glad, Saw's coming back out. Another franchise that I want to have life breathed into it. Because I don't see why not. I don't see why not. They can't revive the Final Destination films.
They are.
Well, good.
We're getting Final Destination next year, I think.
I mean, honestly, that was a franchise where I'm like, okay, they could probably come out with one every single year, and they do not need to use the same cast. They don't need to do anything.
No.
And it's still be a hit because it's all about death and all about, these circumstances that happen to people. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this because of that movie is the reason why they won't get behind a wood truck.
Right.
Like that idea wasn't really like everybody kind of had that in the back of their mind. Like, I wonder if that would fall off. And then that movie showed you what would happen if it fell off. And now we're all fucking scarred from it.
And think about this: they made a franchise, and they don't even have
a fucking killer.
They don't have a killer. They don't have a face. The face is an invisible death.
It's a death. It's a wind.
It's
what the crazies tried to pull off.
The inevitable is what it is. It's like you're going to die, but how are you going to die? Are you going to be old and in the bed and 80, or are you going to be 25 behind a fucking wood truck?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I forgot what the new one's gonna, what it's like, the concept of it, but it should be fun. I mean, I don't think it'd be bad.
I'll be behind it. You just gotta
have creative deaths.
Yeah, I'll be behind it. I'll be right there and hope it don't suck. That's the only thing I can hope for.
But I hope this Freddy movie is. I hope it's gonna just do a fucking sequel to end it. Like, just give Robert his sailing into the sunset
swan song.
Yeah, let this be the final nightmare. You know what I mean?
And like I said, you can always shoot the film and have a younger person doing the physical work, like shoot it from behind where he's boom, 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 but close up voice, I don't see why he couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, they use fucking stunt people for it anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of people wouldn't be behind it. They would kind of.
Well, fuck them.
You know what I mean? Like I
know what you mean, but you know what I mean too. Fuck
if it's not all Robert, then they don't want Robert. You know what I mean?
Damn, it's almost so much a 75-year-old can do, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I know.
Even Kane Hodder right now couldn't be as physical as Jason as he would want to be because he's 63.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to meet him.
So, I mean, you know, we got somebody like Nick Castle. Yeah, he can put the thing on and walk down the street, but do you think he can get into a fucking physical fight in the costume? No. So, there's ways to do it, but you're right. People will bitch, and, you know, we'll talk about them bitching, so.
It is.
You'll bitch about them bitching.
We'll bitch about them bitching about them bitching.
Yeah. I just hope the fucking movie is pretty bitching.
I hope the movie's pretty bitching. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo.
And I'm Lana. It's been fun.
Stay spooky, ladies and gentlemen.